Hey guys, Davison here. I just finished watching a video called Completely Honest OBGYN, and it is a comedic sketch put out by the Second City Network, and it is a sketch about an obstetrician slash gynecologist who is counseling a couple about their upcoming birth, and he tries to convince them to have a C-section by listing all the ways in which a natural birth is a horrific experience for a woman. And the sketch itself is pretty funny, but what kind of scared me is the majority of people in the comments section beneath the video and on Reddit where the video was posted that are completely ignorant to how a natural birth should take place and the advantages of having a natural birth over C-section. And what kind of scares me as well about the video is that there's some things that are exaggerated or described inaccurately for comedic effect, such as, I'm going to go through them now so that maybe I can teach you some things about childbirth because I had a child, okay? And if I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, I would probably be a doctor. So, that said, episiotomies. What an episiotomy is when a doctor needs to slice or make an incision in a woman's vaginal canal or birthing canal in order to make more room for the baby to be birthed. And in the video, they joke that the doctor will have to slice her taint and it will end up joining her anus and her vagina. That would never, ever, ever, ever happen. Doctors take great care, in fact, to not damage the anal sphincter muscles because the woman would end up incontinent. My mother, who recently got over colon cancer, was facing the possibility of having to have a colostomy because of where her lesion was located, which was close to the anus. And because it was so close to the anus, the doctor was afraid that if he removed it and sliced too deeply, that she would end up incontinent for the rest of her life. Therefore, the colostomy was superior. So the same thing applies to a woman giving birth. A doctor would never damage that area because it's very hard to repair the muscles. So it is just simply an incision, and it could be either towards the front or generally it is, though, towards the back. Also, women do not always poop, as they say in the video, when they give birth. Some of us do when we pushed. I hate to say it, but that happened to me. Oh, so gross. But it wasn't that bad, and it didn't end up on the baby, and it was during pushing long before the baby was born. Also, and this is very important, C-sections are only supposed to be done when the fetus's life is at risk or the mother's life is at risk, not to speed a delivery or preserve the vagina, as many people are saying, like, oh my God, I'm getting a C-section, my vagina is going to thank me. Or a woman actually did say, my vagina thanks me. I'm sorry, human beings evolved to have bodies that repair themselves after natural childbirth. I can guarantee you my vajayjay is just as firm as it was before I had a baby. And I wasn't sliced, and it naturally tightens up over time, especially if you do Kegel exercises, which are clenching the walls of your vagina, holding them and letting go. So vaginas are not necessarily damaged by childbirth. They can be, especially if the baby comes out in the wrong position or you naturally have a smaller birthing canal. There's a whole bunch of things that can happen. But generally speaking, vaginas don't end up that damaged after having a baby. And C-sections, they come with the risk of infection. They come with the risk of increased postpartum pain. It's not something that should be taken lightly as a decision during childbirth. It should only be done as a last resort. And I don't think the majority of OBGYNs are evil, at least in Canada, and I don't think they all try to speed up the birthing process. Though, admittedly, I was given Pitocin, which is a hormone to speed up your contractions. And it actually increased my pain. And I think that I would have been able to have a natural childbirth without an epidural had I not been given Pitocin. But ultimately, you know, my son was born and he was fine. And yeah, I only had to push for, I think, like 30 minutes. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because like they make the joke that the woman's just going to have a vagina/anus poop covered baby. Her vagina will never be the same again. All of those things are not true. So if you guys want to check out the video, it's right here. I should probably tell you guys the story of the birth of my baby Max, who's now 13 sometimes. And I wish they told people more when they were younger, or about the birthing process, and that they brought young teenagers into delivery rooms and brought them through the process, because so many people are shielded from birth, and then people release sketches like this and everyone's ignorant to what the reality is, which is sad to me. So I'm Davison. I make cool things. I talk about cool things, and I'm gonna do some Kegels. It's like I'm giving birth. You never forget. Right now I could give birth to an orange. Should I try?